Hi, I am here today with Nate Gould, and he's with Qualified Industrial. And Nate, would you like to introduce yourself and let us know what you do?
Sure. My name is Nate Gould, and I own my own small business called Qualified Industrial. And basically, what I do is provide custom engineered, custom manufactured metal fabrications, mostly for energy and oil and gas companies. And I am a wholesaler or distributor, so I do not, at the moment, I do not have my own manufacturing capabilities, but instead I have a portfolio of suppliers that I work with to make custom products for my customers.
That sounds really interesting. I bet that's a cool job to have started.
Well, it's fun. Yes, I am quite enjoying it. I'm also seeking to grow it, but nonetheless, I have been having fun since I started it about 3 years ago.
Oh, that's so important to be able to enjoy where you are. So, how did you get to where you are now?
Well, I was in the corporate world for 28 years, and I initially started out doing supply chain consulting. And then eventually I moved into the energy field. So I worked for an electric utility, Kansas City Power and Light. And then I spent the final 10 years with General Electric or GE Power. And again, I became very familiar with power plant equipment, basically. And I was a sourcing manager. I was also a supplier quality engineer. So I became very familiar with the supply base for these kinds of products, as well as the detailed technical and quality specifications. And then so when I left GE 3 years ago, essentially what I've done is made a business out of my last job,
Oh,
in a way.
perfect. That's really nice. How would you like to grow your business in the future?
Well, there's really a couple different avenues. The easiest way is just to try to acquire new customers. I have a pretty small customer base so far who have kept me quite busy, but I'd like to just expand my customer base would be one avenue. But another avenue is to grow, is to create my own manufacturing capabilities. So I would acquire a facility and then probably start with welding or maybe coating of parts, probably,
Okay.
and probably packaging also. Packaging is
All
quite
right.
a special process in what I do.
Process. Okay. Very interesting. That would be a challenge, I would think, putting all that together.
Yeah, it would be, obviously you're starting manufacturing from scratch is hard,
Mhm.
but the particular type of products that I work with do lend themselves to that because I would probably start with welding. And what
Okay.
that lets me do is acquire individual piece parts that have been cut or bent or drilled, and then I would focus just on the welding process.
Welding.
And a lot of what I make, they do tend to be, one-off or small quantity batch runs. So it's not
Okay.
like I need a giant assembly line to get started. I can get started with a relatively small facility, probably.
Okay. Okay. That would be very interesting. So, thinking about your daily work, what is your favorite part of your job?
Well, I enjoy being in factories, metal fabrication shops. Like enjoy being around them, being inside them. But I also really enjoy, interpreting the quality and technical specifications. Basically, dealing with complex engineered systems and products, and all the specification and the requirements that go with that. Because it does require it requires a good understanding of what the overall product or system is doing, but then quite detailed understanding of various requirements, whether it's for metallurgy or the type of welding or specific type of coating. I am technical by nature. I have 2 engineering degrees, and I enjoy that quite a bit.
Great. And what's your least favorite part?
Well, maybe billing is kind of
Okay.
can be time consuming. I also, I do have quality problems from time to time, and those are challenging. Also, I mentioned packaging earlier. Packaging is really tough because customers want things to be really robustly packaged, but then on fabricators on the other side normally are trying to minimize their cost, and they don't have very good processes around that. So getting things packaged in a way that's it will stand up to whether it's ocean transit or road transport is a big challenge also.
Big challenge. Yeah. I would think getting those bigger pieces to places would be a challenge for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So, what was the first job that you had as a kid?
Oh,
or do
as a
you
kid,
have one?
as a kid, oh yeah, I delivered handbills. That's what they called them, handbills. They're
Mhm,
like little promotional, kind of like a newspaper route, I guess, except they were handbills.
mhm.
I had a variety. I mowed lawns. I had a job relocating a giant pile of mulch at a roller rink for a few weeks. So I did a lot of
A lot of
things. I
things.
also probably my first real job as a kid was in a grocery store. I worked in a grocery store for probably a couple of years.
Okay. What were some skills you learned through those jobs?
Well, hmm. What I learned through those jobs, I would say just really the importance of hard work. I mean, being
Mm,
on time, I get, because if you're not on time, you could lose your job pretty quickly.
right.
Being reliable, um, being disciplined and doing what was expected of me, basically, to try to keep my job and earn raises and promotions.
Exactly. Exactly. That's always important part. Even if you don't like the first job you have, you at least you learn what it's like to be in the real world and
Indeed,
working.
indeed.
um, what could you explain your educational path to get to a job like yours?
Yes, I have two engineering degrees. I started out with a bachelor's in electrical engineering from the University of Missouri, and then I went directly to for my master's in industrial engineering. So I was focused on industrial manufacturing processes very early on in my career, and I got two engineering degrees to do that. Later, I got an MBA from the University of Chicago. So I studied, finance and strategy and things like that, which have been helpful in definitely have been helpful in
Oh,
starting my own business.
yeah, that would be very helpful to see the whole package because you have to kind of deal with everything when you've got your own business.
I do indeed.
So, um, and what would be your definition of success?
Well, I think success, is unique to each person. I think it almost for sure should enjoy or should involve an aspect where the person has some enjoyment in their work, which is not to say, I don't think you have to love what you do. Some people say that, but I mean, it is a job after all, as my father-in-law says. So, I mean, I think you have to be reasonably happy and enjoy what you're doing. And then hopefully, it's rewarding enough financially that you can support yourself, support your family if you have one. And, and then beyond that, I think if it also serves any higher purpose that you can align with, and that's even better.
Even better. Yeah, that's for sure. So, and what advice could you give students today to help them prepare for a job?
Well, I mean, I think above all is to begin with is if you're still in school, then finish your high school diploma. Beyond that, college is expensive. So I think students should consider carefully what they do next. But usually some degree of education beyond college, beyond high school, yeah, I think is really helpful, even if it's only a 2-year associate's degree. But certainly picking up some marketable, relevant skills is key. And then also, I think, as you were alluding to, Sarah, I think having some work experience, while you're in high school and college, and building that track history is instrumental to a person in helping them just develop the right work skills and character traits early on to succeed later in life.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know the kids will get a lot out of it. It'll be very interesting.
You're
So,
welcome. Thank you very much.
thank you.